order of the council meeting of October 9th, 2018, we rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Successor agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, and Parking Authority.
Could any persons present wishing to address City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, Parking Authority on any item of today's agenda, you can do so at this time. Hearing no comment, we'll close public comment. But I do want to make a comment myself. I love the buzz in this room now when I come out of my office. It wasn't like that before. Everybody's excited, engaged. I like that. I like that. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant to register.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
City Council members, Successor Agency and Housing Authority members. Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 7.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1,
Thank you, Mayor. No oral reports.
CM1,
There are no city manager reports.
CC1,
No reports, Mayor. Thank you.
CT1.
Thank you, Mayor. And I want to just mention that the expectations for inflation, 1 and 3 years in the future were steady in September at 3%. And I'd like to also welcome 16 students to the City Treasure Academy program. Malik Diaz, Mia Diaz, Mariah Raban, Joshua Roberts, Erika O'Reary, Sebastian Sanchez, Anna Galaza, Bethlehem Aguna, Crystal Garcia, Karina Mejia, Major Gordon, and Jessica Estrada, Ruth Hamilton, Hera Gutierrez, and Sierra Antonio, and Jessica, and Brother Aurora Mercado. I want to welcome them to the City Treasure Academy program that starts on the 19th of this month. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you very much. We got that. CI1,
Initiative by Councilmember Franklin, District Number 4, recommending approval of the city sponsorship for the 2018 District 4 Annual Christmas Toy and Food Drive celebration.
so moved. Second. Madam Clerk.
Council members, Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Successor agencies in session, CSA 2.
Approval of the minutes for successor agency meeting held on September 25th, 2018.
Move approval. Second. Madam Clerk.
Successor agency members, Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. We'll close that session. The Housing Authority is already in session, H2.
Approval of the minutes for the Housing Authority meeting held on September 25th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Housing Authority members, Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the Housing Authority. Finance Authority is in session, F1.
Approval of the minutes for the Finance Authority meeting held on September 25th, 2018.
Move approval. Second. Madam Clerk.
Finance Authority members, Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the Finance Authority. The Parking Authority is in session, P1.
Approval of the minutes for the Parking Authority meeting held on September 25th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Parking Authority members, Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the Parking Authority. There are no appointments to boards or commissions. Public comment. Any persons wishing to address City Council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time.
Good afternoon, Mayor Butts, City Council, and staff. I would just like to commend you on last week's Clean Air Day celebration. It was a beautiful event. I'm glad that the employees of the building had a chance to go downstairs and enjoy the festivities with KGLA Studios. I would like to thank the city for its Clean Air Acts with our clean air cars purchased over the years, for we had addressed the problem with the air quality with all of Southern California, but being named one of 7 cities is an accomplishment that is only commended by the efforts of this body and Public Works as well for purchasing such clean air cars and things that we do to help our environment. And I would just like to say thank you very much, and everybody, please have a beautiful week. Enjoy.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
Turn the television on so people can hear me. My name is Alfonso Parker Jr., Vietnam veteran, 667, also a conscious objector. As you know, after all these years, I've been telling you what's going on. You read the papers, stay up on what's going on. Yes, Bill of Rights said they must notify you of even when they do corrupt acts. Even if they are in the Constitution, they have to follow the procedure. Now, to the level of these gentlemen here, collaborators and co-conspirators, as you know, admitting they are wrong, found guilty in the National Criminal Court at the head, under Obama as being the 3rd terrorist nation in the world. 842-3363. From veterans as well as all you civilians, generation after generation, we've had this problem. Come see me, call my number. I can show you what they've been doing. This has nothing to do with the computer age. This is hard copy before computers existed. Typewriter stuff, government stuff. Not this phony stuff they've been feeding you. Call me, 323.
You're not going to stop until I stop you, are you? I tried, Mr. Parker, but you're at time.
And they
Mr. Parker, you're at time.
And they need to go to jail.
All
And
right.
they will be.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Congratulations now, because when in jail, I'm not putting nothing on.
Okay. Tried. I tried.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood, California, and I'm proud of it. Today I've been taking a couple of good friends of mine for a long time to view the beautiful city of Inglewood, and I think they're enjoying it. Mr. and Mrs. Obert Davis, right, sitting right here. Great people, absolutely. They love the city, and took them to the senior citizen. They love that too. I think they're gonna eat some good food over there. Great people, great people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Agee. Okay, with that, we'll close public. Oh, no, Mr.
Gentleman in the back.
No, this Mr. Davis. I was.
Beg your pardon. Ray Davis, 2nd District. Just wanted to come up and, in my minute, take a walk down memory lane about old Inglewood. When something had happened here, if it didn't involve a dead body, no one heard about it. Now, anything happens, it makes the front page. That's the new Inglewood, people. Yay, here they go with the negative press. And all I can say is, learn from past experience, council and staff, because this is all nip it in the bud stuff. They're gonna have to do a lot better. And with that, I'm kind of smug and arrogant, aren't I? But that's the way I feel now. And somebody mentioned Stevie Wonder. I'm reminded of what our theme song should be in this city. Remember this band called Rufus, featuring Chaka Khan? He wrote a song for them. It was their first hit. Say it for me. That's right, Mayor. I'm gonna make a little plaque for your desk. And anybody else? Yeah, that's our motto here now. You wanna come to this city, tell us something good.
All right. Come forward, sir.
Good afternoon, council, public. My name is Ivan Simonet, promoting a event at Centinela Park, the old Centinela Park, Edward Vincent Park. And it's an event that we're sponsoring veterans. I provide housing for veterans in the community and get them connected with their benefits and resources. And the only thing I'm here today is just basically just to see if I can get someone from City Council to do the opening ceremony. Mr. Badia, Mr. Butts. It's Save the Date, November 10th. Broken Barriers is a social network, filmmakers of color in association with Rich Center for Prosperity, which is me, that support the veterans, and the NAVVETS, National Association of Black Veterans.
And where was it going to be?
Edward Vincent Park, November 10th.
That's in District 1, so that'd be Councilman Dotson. But here's what you do. If you would be so kind as to go over and see Kathy Gibbons, admin office right across the hallway.
Right.
And then give her the information so that we can try.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, with that, we're going to close public comment, Councilman Badia, and then pass it over to Councilman Franklin if I'm not back by then. I'm sure I will be.
I'm going to take Dotson's 3 minutes.
I bet.
Well, no, first off, I just want to say we had a great time last week. We had coffee with the cop over at Randy's Donuts, and hats off to the community that came out to support the Inglewood Police Department, and rightfully so. It was a great event. There's some photos up there. Matter of fact, the gentleman holding that box of donuts is an Australian police officer. And so he happened to come out. He's on his way to the airport, but he heard about the event and decided to stop by and say hi, grab his donuts, and take them back to his buddies in Australia. So it was a great event. Also, I had an opportunity to attend the block club for the 400 block of East Avenue, a community that has been around for many, many years. Really nice little neighborhood, and it was just good to see everybody come out, break bread, have a great time, just have fun. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, having fun with your neighbors, getting to know each other, reconnecting, and just celebrating all the good things that the city of Inglewood has to offer, and doing it with your neighbors. I also had an opportunity to go to La Tijera Charter School and do a presentation for Hispanic Heritage there with the students. Had a good time. It's kind of tough to be up there when you got all those little kindergartners and trying to keep their attention. But it was a fun event, and our future is bright. A lot of these young kids, very, very knowledgeable and great questions. So I want to thank La Tijera Middle School or Charter School for inviting me out to that event. This Saturday, there's a couple of big events taking place in our in District 2. One of them is the Serving Spoon is celebrating their 35-year anniversary. J.C. Johnson and his wife Angie. So if you get a chance, come on out from 8 a.m. till noon. The Serving Spoon on Centinela. Also at 10 o'clock, from 10 to 11:30, we have a new business. It's called Pan Dulce Número 2, Pan Dulce number 2. It's Mexican bread. And so come on out, celebrate the opening of their business at Marlboro and Hyde Park. The ribbon cutting itself will take place at 10:30. But again, that's this Saturday from 10 to 11:30, Pan Dulce, Marlboro, and Hyde Park. With that, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Wait, hold on.
Councilman Franklin, District 4.
And I'm going to take Dotson's 3 minutes too. I just want to acknowledge to the residents and those that are here that I am the delegate appointed by this council to serve on the South Bay City Council of Government. And within that, I'm on the ad hoc committee known as the Metro South Bay Service Council as the chair. And so I was given a special VIP security clearance to go to LAX, actually where the planes take off and do all the servicing, et cetera. It's amazing to see how Tom Bradley Terminal is being expanded. It's amazing also to have the vision that's going to take place of having a people mover coming from LAX that will tie into aviation or 96 and aviation to be able to transport the riders back and forth to the airport, help reducing the emission exhaust footprint, and the tie-in with Metro, also working on the Crenshaw LAX line and the future Green Line that will also come toward aviation in 96, and it will go all the way. The light rail stations that the mayor's the board member for Metro, and he's been working diligently for us to work on the first mile, last mile for the city. Future events is going to take place involving the stadium and the future site, we hope, of the Clippers Arena, and being actually involved in upfront and dealing with those issues has been outstanding. And so the future is coming, but as any good thing, it takes a while for development. And Almighty One, which is my last name, Franklin's, takes many of them in order to make sure that everything takes place. But I'm glad to say that there's now continuity between the Los Angeles World Airport and Metro and the surrounding cities and county to make this happen. End of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Morales, District 3.
Thank you. I'll touch on some of the things as well briefly. First, I'd like to thank staff and the committee for the nice clean air event we had last week. I didn't expect it to be what it really was. It was a celebration of it, and lots of folks made it out there that day, and it was a celebration. So, I mean, we've come a long way when we start celebrating those type of events here at City Hall and throughout the community. And credit to the employees that took part in it and really took a leadership role. Coffee with the Cop, amazing. I know I see Cinder out there. She did a great job on that one. Got the folks out there. It was a great time, and it's amazing, you know, all of the events we go to and the conversations that get sparked by it. We hear about everything. It's an opportunity about hearing about
You got
everything.
pictures too.
Listen, this is the bigger surprise to me. I have to tell you, whoever's back there doing this, I appreciate it. I had no idea. Look, that's a pretty good shot.
That's a good picture.
That's a pretty good shot. So thank you, Thomas, if you're back there doing what you do. And then, so that was great. And that, of course, is the new owner of Randy's Donuts, who's just taken it to another level and keeps Randy's Donut on the map. So thank you all for coming out, and thank you, Cinder, for a job well done, as well as to all of the officers in the community that came out for that day. And then I know he doesn't have pictures of this, but for Hispanic Heritage Month, I was also invited to a couple of schools, one which was Crozier Middle School. And their theme was how we are all one voice, and they wanted to get the Latino perspective growing up here in Inglewood. And I just thought it was so interesting, their theme, and how together, you know, with a minority cultures, how we grew up here and how it's evolved, and more important than that, how we get along so great and succeed together. So they had a great theme, and I just want to thank them for inviting me out there. So thanks, everybody. That's it.
Thank you. Good pictures, Eloy.
Yeah, man.
So I think it was Mr. Davis mentioned, you know, the press. I find it fascinating that in 8 years of being back here, that the Daily Breeze, if they've written one article about us leading up to now, I would think that was one too many. And then lately, we're all over the Daily Breeze for a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now, what I find fascinating, I was doing a little research. In the last 5 years, the council's done 21 things pretty significant. When I started in office in 2011, February 1st, 2011, for the fiscal year 2010-2011, which was what was left to me and Councilman Franklin and Morales, was an $18 million structural deficit, down to our last $11 million. For the fiscal year that just ended, 2017-2018, we had a $25 million surplus, $43 million turnaround. We now have $50 million in reserves. That's a 400% increase. That in the breeze. We've decreased the unemployment rate from 17.5% to 4.8%. We've increased property values over 125% since the end of 2012. We brought the regional headquarters of the Girl Scouts from Marina Del Rey to Inglewood. We provided agreements that provided jobs for parolees with the RN workers on the stadium project for people who had no hope for employment since their release and reintegration into society. Reopened the Forum, which is now the #1 concert venue in California, #2 in the United States, and #3 in the world for booked events. We negotiated the return of the NFL, both the Rams and the Chargers, to the LA region, with the tax revenues that go to Inglewood. For that construction project, any materials contract over $5 million, it must be wholesaled here to Inglewood so that we can receive the sales taxes from that purchase, as opposed to the point of origin, which is what always happened before with projects in Inglewood. We negotiated the return of the NBA to Inglewood, the Clippers, by 2024. The movement of the NFL networks from Culver City to Inglewood in 2020. We're going to host Super Bowl 54 here in 2022. The NC2A Championship College Bowl game in 2023. We'll have the opening ceremonies for the Summer Olympics World Games here in 2028. We have local hiring goals of 35% for Inglewood residents for the 50,000 construction jobs scheduled over the next 7 years. Add to that another 10,000 construction jobs for the Clippers project. These jobs pay prevailing wages and not minimum wages. We work with One Stop of the South Bay Workforce Investment Board to maximize local apprenticeship opportunities and local resident placement by the unions for these jobs. We repaved more street lane miles of roadway and linear feet of sidewalk than any administration in the history of Inglewood. We reconstructed Century Boulevard, which was 20 years overdue. We've begun reconstruction of Imperial Highway. We picked a chief of police that's given us 7 of the 8 consecutive years of the lowest crime rates in the history of Inglewood, a chief that's raised the clearance rate for homicides in Inglewood from a dismal 27% in 2010 to over 80% as of last week in 2018. The average clearance rate for the state of California is 64%. 80% is amongst the highest in the nation. We produced the #1 residential sound insulation program in the United States, per the FAA, after being defunded before I became the mayor. We opened a $27 million, 35,000 square foot state-of-the-art senior center in January that had been promised to the seniors since 2006. We entered into a development agreement to bring the LA Philharmonic Youth Orchestra program to Inglewood. We received 5 bond rating upgrades since 2015. 5 bond rating upgrades. In January 2016, Moody's made this comment: "The financial position of the city is robust and is a notable strength when compared to its A1 rating. The cash balance as a percent of revenues is stronger than the U.S. median. Moreover, the fund balance as a percent of operating resources, meaning comparison of what we saved to what we spent in a year. The fund balance as a percent of operating revenues far surpasses any other Moody's rated city nationwide and saw an impressive increase from 2011 to 2014. I like to remind people I took office in February of 2011, but there's no coincidence. We project a surplus for the upcoming 2018-19 general fund year of about $56,000. If any city did 2 of those things, it would be front page news for the newspaper. You never see that in the Daily Breeze. So I'm going to tell everybody that sees this broadcast, there's something going on. There's something going on. So I want to thank everybody for your support of this council. I want to thank the council for their wisdom, their tenacity, and their commitment to the residents of the city. And we move on to our destiny to be the #1 sports entertainment, retail, cultural center in the county of Los Angeles. So with that, we're adjourned.